Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Monday, and that means a visit from your favorite and mine, Don Fischer, the voice of the Hoosiers. And Don, I know you had a great time on Saturday, but even maybe a better time Friday night before we get to the game, as Indiana's athletics welcomed in a new class to its Athletics Hall of Fame. And man, it was my first time attending, and boy, did I enjoy the hell out of the stories by the inductees, learning about people that I probably never would have, to be honest with you, would not have taken the time to learn. But some of this stuff you wouldn't have, but incredible. Whether it was Peggy Martin or Glenn Terry or Mel Groom's family, all of that stuff was just so cool. And you were right in the middle of it, being the MC.
Well, it was a fun night. It always is. Been doing this thing for, I don't know how many years now. It's been about 20 or so that I've been able to be the MC for the program. Maybe miss one or two in there because of football or something, but it's always a great night when you get a chance to hear these athletes who played years ago and were just they loved Indiana University, and they all of them talk about it like it was one of the greatest things that they ever did. It was they came to a school that taught them a lot of different things, how to be men, how to be women. So many different stories, and many of them get very emotional when they're up there accepting this Hall of Fame induction. And that was the case again in that particular show that we saw on Friday night. But it's a fun night. These athletes are so appreciative of being put into the Hall of Fame itself. And I just love doing it. It's a big part of what I've been able to do for a long, long time. And it's really fun to hear those stories.
Not only that, all of them have gone on just to be successful people in life. Correct. And you can tell they're great people in life. Peggy Martin, I mean, she may be the character of the night, but also they may possibly the most successful of the night. I was talking earlier about a dog. She lettered in 3 sports at IU, which is unheard of. And is the all-time winningest coach in NCAA history in a sport she didn't even play at IU.
Right.
So that's a little wild. Yeah, crazy.
Great volleyball coach, has taught at I think all 3 levels too of college volleyball. So she was remarkable, and of course her favorite line was, "Did I tell you I love Indiana University?"
Yes, and you can tell she meant it though.
Yeah, she did.
That's another thing that these people, you could tell. When I say these people, I don't mean to be offensive. They were all enjoyed the hell out of their time in college, and the friends they met, the people, coaches, whomever it was, their family that encouraged them, their moms that said, "You ain't coming home," all of that good stuff. And it was all great. Angel Escobedo, who we'll get on here soon. I love him to death. He is just, I mean, that's a guy that comes from East Chicago, and we all know about East Chicago, Gary, Indiana area, and the success that his family has helped propel him to. And that was a family affair there, the brothers, the cousins, all of that.
Well, and Cody Zeller, of course, was inducted as well. A guy that I thought, he was the transitional guy in regard to Indiana basketball through the Tom Crean era, because if everybody remembers, Tom took over. I think he had 2 walk-ons on his basketball team at the time when there was no transfer portal at that juncture, and had to rebuild the program from the ground up. And Tom was there to represent, to be there for Cody Zeller, as he was for Victor Oladipo a few years ago. So it was just a really wonderful night. It was fun. It always is. And I'm so glad that I get to be a part of it.
Well, you did a great job as always. And I mentioned earlier, Tom Crean came in for Cody's induction. And I don't care what people think of him as a coach or whatever, as a human, he's just as good as they get. He's always been gracious with us coming on the show. And that's not the first time I think he's been in for an induction either.
Right. No, there's no question. So, and a lot of Cody's teammates came back too. So it was a fun night for him and his family. And Cody Zeller is probably my second all-time favorite player in Indiana. Randy Whitman's my first. I've said that many times in the past. because I knew his family when we first got here to Indianapolis, and I took the job to be the voice of the Hoosiers. But Cody Zeller is probably my second favorite player because, number one, he might be the most humble of all the stars that we've had at Indiana University. And secondly, he is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I don't think he's ever found anybody that would say anything other than he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Cody Zeller, just a great kid. And I think that whole Zeller family are just great people. There's no question about it.
And I think his nickname follows in the Big Handsome. That's just one I love. It just cracks me up. I just think it's funny. It's yeah, he is, because he is a Shire type of guy, or he's humble and all that. So all great stuff. And a great weekend continued on Saturday on the gridiron, Don, as Indiana continued to do Indiana things and got closer to the team that we saw a year ago. Of course, the improvement between weeks 1 and week 2 that we talk about so much, we saw happen both offensively and defensively. Indiana defensively did not allow the big gainers that they did a week ago, holding Kennesaw State to less than 90 or less than 100 yards total rushing.
Right.
And they had to go through 3 quarterbacks. On the other side, offensively for Indiana, they continue to be an extraordinarily balanced team. Last year was a little more passing than running. This year it's been reversed so far. But man, when you've got 3 guys that you can hand the ball to in Beebe and Kalon Black, and of course the big man Roman Hemby, and two different guys have been the workhorses in these first 2 games.
Well, all I can tell you is that Kurt Cignetti was looking for major improvement in game 2, just like he was a year ago after game 1 with Florida International, and he got it. Fernando Mendoza was terrific in this ball game, in my opinion. I think he did a tremendous job of improving from game 1 to game 2. He just looked more comfortable. He made his reads better. He didn't have that nervousness that you would expect in a first ball game as he did in game 1. And he took accountability for that after that performance and came back and showed people what he's really like as a quarterback. He played very well in this ball game. And what we saw was a really good defensive performance as well. Not the biggest plays that we saw in the first ball game. None of that kind of thing happened. But there were so many different players in this ball game, I think you could point out, just made a difference. And the one guy that we just don't know what his status will be, Lewis Moore, got another interception, played really well in this ball game at that safety spot again. And Wednesday, we're going to find out whether he's eligible for the rest of the season, or at least a portion of the rest of the season, or if he's done, because that judge is going to make a ruling on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but just from things that the judge has said, I'm going to be shocked in the fact that that's been allowed to go on and play already in this season. That if that. And with all the other things, the precedents that we've seen guys that are in college for 7 years. Some there have been 8-year guys. So I'm going to be hard pressed to think that he does not get to continue, but we'll address that Wednesday when the decision comes out.
Right.
Indiana now moves forward to their last and final non-conference game of the season, quick as it comes up this Friday, Don, against an Indiana State team, which I'll be honest with you, is generally overmatched by most teams. And if Indiana is getting into that realm that they are getting into, man, that's not the time to catch Indiana. Although Indiana has put up 500 and 600 yards of offense, but they have yet to really unleash. They haven't even opened up the playbook yet, Don. We haven't seen these big gainers or anything like this. Is just being pretty, I don't want to say vanilla, but they haven't opened up the playbook and are gaining these kind of yards. So that's a great sign.
Well, an end around on Saturday would tell you that they did open up the playbook a little bit. Omar Cooper goes 75 yards for a touchdown on basically an end around play or a reverse type play. So that was pretty special. But you're right. Indiana's not shown a lot so far. It's been pretty straightforward football. and not giving away a lot of what they hope to do later on. And here's the other thing. This is a football team that the number one mantra from Kurt Signetti is always, you stack days, one after the other. You got to improve every time you're out there in the football field throughout the season. And if you don't, you're wasting time, because obviously the teams that you're going to play coming up here shortly, it's going to be big time. And Indiana is going to take on a team in Illinois in 2 weeks that is now ranked in the top 10. So it's the real tests are about to take place, and of course they'll try to hone everything this coming week with Indiana State, a ball club that is 2-0 at this point. They beat Eastern Illinois badly in their last ball game, 38-14, a team that last year they lost to by a touchdown, and they beat them solidly in this next contest against Eastern. So I never take any team lightly. You've got to give every team respect. And there's no question, Kurt Mallory's a good football coach, always has been, played football in Indiana, coached at Michigan for a long time. This guy can coach football. He's just at a school that has really struggled to get enough talent to put out in the field on a consistent basis. So, and I think he's got a better team this year. I really do. He's got a freshman quarterback who's now a sophomore, played all last season. They got a good running back. They got a guy that's a really good receiver and a kid named Rochelle. They've got tools. And if Indiana takes them lightly, they'll get burnt in some way. So obviously this is a big ball game, just in the sense of improving on what they've done so far.
Yeah, just making sure that they clean up whatever it is they want to clean up. There hasn't been a lot of penalties, only 4 penalties in that last game. One of those comes late, which was kind of a pointless penalty. But we'll see as they move forward. Illinois plays Western Michigan this week, as well as that clash you mentioned coming up soon. And it is going to be a big clash. It's going to be one that that will be on national TV. I'm guessing that's going to be a big noon kickoff game, personally, although it has not been announced. That just because Fox has that opportunity, and I cannot imagine that they won't be putting those 2 ranked teams up. And that would be a great opportunity for the Hoosiers, because Illinois had moved into the top 10, like you said. They play another top 10 team 2 weeks, or was it 2 weeks after that? 3 weeks, because they have a bye game in there. So they're going to have 2 top 10 team games in the first half of their season. So anybody wants to complain about the schedule, zip it, baby. Zip it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And we moved the talk show this week, Inside IU Football with Kurt Signetti, to Wednesday night. So we'll be a Wednesday night show at Hoosier Hanks in Bloomington. Hope everybody shows up for that as well.
Make sure you do. Who's the special guest, or do you know yet?
Don't know yet. We'll find out more than likely, because we had the defensive coordinator on, Brian Haynes, this past week. So more than likely to be Mike Shanahan, but it could be somebody else. We'll just have to wait and see.
Make sure you head out to Hoosier Hanks, 1285 College Mile Road there in Bloomington. Don, thank you, sir. Look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for having me, Jim. See you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.